Here at Michigan State University's Communication Arts and Sciences building, students from all over Michigan are coming together for more than just friendly competition. They're here for career opportunities. I'm here in downtown Okemos, where in 2018, city officials proposed a revitalization project. But as you can see behind me, it's been on hold indefinitely since May of 2023. This once bustling community is now facing closing storefronts, but a local institution is taking notice. But that transition from old facilities to new ones is symbolic of more than just lab space. And that's all we've got for you this week at Focal Point News.
As always, thanks for tuning in. I'm Amy Cho.
And I'm Liam Clymer. We'll be back next week with more news that matters to you. Intricate miniatures, eager attendees, and lots of rail memorabilia. This is the Lansing Train Show, and as you can tell, it's already bustling with vendors setting up for today's festivities. And organizers say by mid-afternoon, it'll live up to the title of Michigan's largest rail show.
We expect at least 3,000 people.
Folks from all walks of life make the trek out to Farm Bureau Pavilion.
This place is packed.
But it's more than sheer volume that brings vendor Paul Hester, an Indianapolis resident, to Michigan's capital. It's the sense of community.
You can just look around the people and a bunch of smiling, happy faces around there. It's just a fun hobby to be involved with.
Hester says he views the show as a free exchange of ideas because no one individual is a specialist in everything.
You have to be a carpenter to do a layout. You have to be an electrician to wire it. You have to be a custom painter. You have to be a builder. You have to be a little bit of a historian.
After 35 years of shows, Hester says the expo conversations that lead to long-lasting friendships are significant to him.
All right, well, happy hunting.
Friendships that he's leaned on since he woke up with a rare eyesight issue that left him partially blind.
And in fact, my driver, Joe, today, he said, you've been helping me out with the shows for the last 5 or 6 years.
But finding folks to rely on isn't so tough in a welcoming hobby.
I'm not a Keith Richards or anything like that, but, but for the model train guys, they all know Paul when you see him because you know the type of work, and it's just a good feeling.
In fact, some find themselves inspired by the open embrace of others.
Want to give it back to him, like, I'll learn about trains, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Abigail Wright Geddes attended not for herself, but to foster the passion of her youngest son.
We got the kids out of the house. My older son's here with his dad somewhere. So we're all going and enjoying Orson's passion for trains.
She tells me that the vendors and organizers she met left her
interested in learning more.
Which might not be surprising with the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes to make the magic happen.
It really takes a lot of planning. We start planning for the next show a year in advance.
Record keeper for Lansing's Model Railroad Club, Michael Frizzell, admitted the long shifts leading up to and during the show were laborsome.
It's all hands on deck for all members to work on this show.
But much like him or his peers would tell you,
what makes me want to come out to do it is to see everybody who are excited to see trains. That
labor is one of love. From hobbyists and artisans,
I don't look at it as a disability. It's like, an advantage to, continue on and do what I love for the last 35 years.
To the next generation of rail fans. The event unites all sorts of people in a shared passion for all things rail. In East Lansing, Liam Clymer, Impact 89 FM. This parking lot has been the center of debate for Lansing residents because to investors, it's more than just a slab of asphalt. It's the possible home of a new data center sprouting up right in downtown. At least that's the hope of Deep Green's CEO, Mark Lee.
We are taking what is an underutilized parking lot at the moment. We are monetizing that for the city.
Lee says that his organization does computing differently.
It will be the first heat reuse data center facility in the USA.
In partnership with the Lansing Board of Water and Light, excess heat from the proposed center would warm nearby homes at no extra cost. But MSU Community Sustainability Professor Doug Bassett remains apprehensive.
we were told one thing and then the story kind of changed, and now people are a little bit nervous about, well, what is the actual story? Originally, it was proposed that the project would be able to get enough electricity off the existing power supply for the Board of Water and Light.
Of the 24 megawatts needed, only 8 are coming from the grid. The rest are from fuel cells.
Fuel cell, they are gas driven, right? But they supply the power through a chemical reaction rather than combustion, which makes them a more sustainable, more clean fuel source.
Bassett agrees, to an extent.
There's really no sustainable form of power that relies on fossil fuels, but they're more efficient and they're more sustainable than just relying on like a natural gas turbine or a natural gas power plant.
But even then, 8 megawatts is still coming from Lansing's grid. How much is that really?
Think of a megawatt as a Meyer watt. It's about the amount of electricity necessary to operate a Meyer grocery store.
And of the grid energy and natural gas used, Lee promised nearby residents won't see it affect their wallets.
It's quite a standalone project that we are running here, where the incremental cost of that will be borne by us, not by BWL, and certainly not by any of their end users.
The center is also set to use closed-loop cooling, which recycles water back into its own system. Once a fuel cell is up and running, it requires 0 additional water.
There's a trade-off between energy and water. If you have a system that's a closed-loop cooling system, you're going to use very little water, but it's going to take more electricity.
Though, through using fuel cells over a traditional grid, CO2 emissions from powering the center can be cut in half. But that difference is a drop in the bucket if larger centers don't follow suit.
When I see all of the hyperscale 1,000 megawatt, gigawatt size data centers and what comes along with them, that's what keeps me up at night.
A sentiment that Lee echoes.
Yes, data centers will be built, but there's the right way to do it.
In Lansing, Liam Clymer, Impact 89 FM.